So it's been a few days since Bigg Boss OTT season 3 has wrapped up, and joining us, I believe this is her first UK interview that she's done post her win on Bigg Boss. Is of course,
Yes, please.
it's the absolutely wonderful Sana Makbul. Sana, thank you so much for joining us on filmishilmy.com, and a huge congratulations on winning Bigg Boss season OTT season 3. How is it feeling? How are you feeling right now?
Thank you so much for having me on the show. Yes, it is my first interview in the UK, and it's special that it's with you. I'm feeling wonderful. I'm feeling how to say it's mixed emotions because from the day one I've been about that I'm if I'm on the show I'm here to win, and till the very end you hold the trophy. And I don't call that as a trophy, I call that as my crown. And I think that winner title crown is little heavy. It comes with a lot of responsibility. And yeah, I'm proud for me.
Well, I'm very proud of you and the journey you've had. I mean, look, it's definitely been not been a cakewalk at all, you know. I mean, I think for all of us, especially because we watched you in Khatron Ke Khiladi not so long ago. And I think even there was a very much of a fighter spirit that you had even on that show. So would you say that in a way, because you dealt with so many people of different temperaments at that point on that show, do you think that came handy for you when it came to Big Boss season 3 OTT season?
Can I tell you one thing? I mean, it's not about Khatro, it's not about OTT, it's about the life journey. In my life, I've started with ground zero and I've started at a very young age. So I think it kind of helped me that dealing with different kind of people. Yes, it was a little handy for me because throughout my journey in this industry, you deal with a lot of different kinds of personality, different kinds of people, different kinds of age groups that work with, right? So I think it was little this key. I had that attitude, okay, but then on the other hand, also it's a personality show, and I have to be real to me, and I've always been that. I'm still. I'm a person who is very true to herself, who knows what she wants, who knows what she's getting into, and I own my things like anything, whether it's good or bad, I own it. So yeah, that helped me.
I think you know what, when it comes to Big Boss, because obviously like there's a lot of groupism that's there, as we know on the show. There were times as well where, it would be you, Lovekesh, Naezy, who
Shivani, Vishal.
Shivani, Vishal, you all were together. But then there would be another big group that was which had a few more numbers. So when you do have this whole numbers game going on in terms of the dynamics in the house, how difficult is it for you not to allow that or that majority sort of thing impact you and, kind of sway you from what you are and what your beliefs are as well as a person?
When there came a point where the whole house was distributed in two groups, okay? As you said, and as you mentioned, that in one group, Nazy, I wouldn't say he was a part of any group, but yes, Nazy was close to me, so he always had my side, like he always had my back. Uh, he always held my hand. But me, Shivani, Lavkesh, and Vishal, we were the most targeted people in the house, especially me. So even if these four, I used to be like, bro, they're going to hit me first. They're going to hit me first. They're going to hit me first. So it happened like that. And yes, I mean, with that, like, I felt, Shivani had a breakdown moment where the whole ration was distributed, like the groceries were distributed between the two groups, and one group had to take this and the other group had to take this. The whole kitchen was kind of distributed. And Shivani, she's the youngest, she was little taken aback that, oh God, what is happening? So yeah, it kind of hit me also. It kind of hit Lavkesh and Vishal also. Uh, that moment we felt that, and then we were kind of telling ourselves that it's okay, it's just a game show, it's okay, this is going to happen. But Shivani didn't took it well. She was really, really hurt. Oh God, the whole house is broken. So we were kind of trying to tell her that it's just a game, relax, chill, we'll still sit and eat. She's like, no, it's become like one big, she's like, how can this happen? The whole house is broken, the kitchen is broken, and there's a saying, I don't know whether you've heard it or not. When a kitchen is broken, the family is broken. So that kind of hit her, and it was little, and even I buy that thing. The kitchen is broken, the family is broken, and but then I control myself with that calmness. It's okay, it's just a game, just but no, it wasn't. I mean, to eat at, like, we used to eat early, they used to eat later. Sometimes they used to eat early, we used to eat later. And then the groups that they were, the tasks used to happen like that. So there were moments, yeah, there were different moments with different emotions. But you are, you're elder to Shivani, you're a little elder to Vishal and Lavkesh. So you have to keep your calm, and, you have to all put it together and keep, like, you have to relax. It's okay, it's just a game, it will pass, it will pass. Yeah, I have
Hmm.
one going for me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I think it definitely was a whirlwind of emotions. I think a lot of the times, though, I mean, just to play devil's advocate, where, for example, I think Ranvir Shorey and Sai Ketan Rao had a lot of things to say about you in the house. Um, and obviously they weren't very good things.
A lot.
I mean, again, I mean, not that you're, there, in a voice or anything, so it's probably difficult for you to say, but just wondering, have you ever understood maybe why they thought those things about you? And did there ever come a point where, because I think one thing that I liked about you is, and I've never understood why, but suddenly people go defensive on Bigg Boss. When people say, oh, you're this, you're this, you're this, they suddenly like to defend themselves and say, मैं नहीं हूँ. But one thing you did is that you owned everything.
You know, I owned it. As I said, I own my shit. I own my shit. And Anuj, there came a point where, see, Ranveer ji and Sai Ketan, what they have spoken behind my back. That's the reason they spoke behind my back. It's behind me. So I would like to keep it like that. But whenever they have upfront and they've spoken to me on my face, I have given them back. I'm not somebody to suppress. I'm not somebody to tame. No, I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm strong. I'm fierce. I'm on the face. If you like it, good for you. If you don't like it, good for you. Simple. But a lot of times I've also heard when I walk, in front of them, they'll bitch, they'll smile, they'll laugh, they have that. So that's their personality, not mine. But the moment they've come and they've told me on my face, I've given them back. So no, no comments on that or anything like that. I would say ki that's the reason they've spoken behind my back.
Hmm. But I would love to know your opinion because I've been doing my rounds on social media, and obviously Twitter is, or X rather, is the place to be when a Big Boss season is coming because that's where all the tea kicks off. But I think a lot of people have had this opinion where there's been a lot of misogynistic takes. There's been a lot of elitist takes, and there's almost been this whole glorification of, I would say, kind of toxic masculinity to an extent, and also polygamy for one obvious reason because of one contestant that was, well, three contestants that were in the house. Sana, how did you uh I mean, it must have been very difficult for you to really address these things, because I mean there were times when statements like, oh, about, you saying a woman should win Big Boss, which I personally think was a really good thing, and I'm really glad that happened. But other people seem to have problems with that, and I just never quite understood.
Can
Yeah.
I say that on that? Ranveer, the only person who had problem with me were four men. Four men.
Mm.
Four
Yeah.
men targeting one woman. One woman, four men. And they call me fake feminist. See, if I'm fake, if I'm not, I'm nobody to judge. But for me, how I see it, a woman has to be powerful. A woman has to be strong. In Hindi, I said it कि औरत में भी दम होना चाहिए.
बिल्कुल.
अगर मैं फेमिनिस्ट हूं तो मैं हूं, बट मैं दमदार लड़कियों के लिए, दमदार औरतों के लिए फेमिनिस्ट हूँ. आई एम हियर फॉर somebody who will speak up for herself. I'm not for here for somebody who will be like कि हाँ जी मैं कुछ करूँ क्या जी. नो, नो, क्या करना है बोलो, मैं करती हूँ. Like, I felt it and they found that funny or they found that weird. But no, I will still stay to my ground. Like, Ranveer ji called me so many things. I own my things. Like, he started the fight where I was supporting Shivani. She was not at the right frame of mind to, take what Ranveer ji the first week. And Ranveer ji, I said, guys, can you just stop it? Ranveer ji just felt that I'm being her lawyer and I'm trying to defend her. And then he's like, stop being like a girgit. He started that. He called me a girgit. I took it with a smile and I said, please don't call me a girgit. I'm a nagin. So I took it with a smile. With a smile, I took everything up. Like if they've called me monkey, they've called me nagin, they've called me girgit, they've called me mendak, they've called me monkey. Oh, whatever you've called me, I was like, हाँ मैं हूँ. Yes, tell me something new. Tell me something new. I think I kept that smile intact on my face, and that triggered these men.
Mm.
Even the women, I feel, few women, I feel that. But the smile that I had, and I never let that go away from my face. Never. Even if you see me fight, I fight like, I, even if I'm arguing, I'm like, oh, I have this, oh, I have that. Like the smile you will never see fade. So I
Mm.
think that triggered them off that, oh, this girl is not, you know, uh, she's not going down or she's not suppressed or anything like that, So I think, yeah, but polygamy, if we speak about polygamy, of course, there were men like in the media round, one of the contestants said, I have kept this woman, two women, I have kept, मैंने रखा है, मैं इनको अच्छे से रखता हूँ. So the other woman, the other women who were there, who was the part of that media round, they questioned this, how can you say we are not somebody to keep,
Mm.
you know? So it shows their mentality, not mine. And for me, I've always been a wider, open-minded person and always try to understand. Like I'm a little curious child, okay? When he came with his two wives, I was like, I was a little curious. I said, how? How can that be? How can it? How can it be possible? Like, how can somebody live with two wives? Like, I was a little curious to understand him, to know him. But then when I saw the equation between these three, and I was like, oh wow, they can be happy. Oh good. But then I questioned this man. I said, what if one of the wives would have done the same thing to you? Would you accept it?
Mm. Mm.
I was the first one to raise that question. Would you accept it? And he said, no.
Oh.
So I, in my head, got that idea that he is like that. He is that male. He is that person. So I was like, okay, good for him. But still, again, as I say, that their equation between themselves was very good. So I'm nobody to talk on that. So I kept quiet. I was like, fair, fine, okay. But they never liked me. I don't know why. Strong women, I feel strong women are never appreciated.
No, but this is actually a very valid point because I feel like a lot of the times when I've watched Big Boss, whether it's Karishma Danna, whether it's Hina, in fact, you know what? When I saw you and the grace that you had, it actually reminded me so much of Hina, and I think like so that's why like sort of I think somewhere emotionally I kind of felt connected with you because I genuinely like saw what she went through. And again, it was absolute chaos when she went through. And I feel like every time, I mean, again, not to bracket, but I feel like every time a notable face of an actress from Indian television comes on, I feel like they've always been very privy to be bashed and to be targeted quite a lot. I mean, again, just to play, just to maybe get your perspective on that. Why do you think that is the case, though? Why do you think it always, because it just seems to be like a pattern. I mean, Karishma went through the same thing in her season as well, you know?
Because we are strong women. Understand one thing, Gohar, when I came out, I don't
Yeah.
know Gohar will tweet for me, I didn't know Neeti will tweet for me, I don't know the whole TV industry will support me. But because we have mind of Gohar called me voice of logic. She said the only person who was confident and voice of logic was you. And I felt so good because I look up to this woman. I look up to Gohar, I look up to Hina, I look up to uh, Karishma Tanna. There are strong women, and we are independent women, we are self-made women, and we are not because we have mind of our own and we speak out. We speak up, like we do speak. We are not somebody to suppress. We are not somebody to tame. We are not somebody to keep quiet. If we think something, we say out loud. And people don't appreciate sometimes. And I feel that's no, we don't need that. And they question a lot of things on me that I'm self-obsessed, I'm selfish, I'm mean, I'm this, I'm that. Can I tell you, I'm an intimidating personality. If you know what an intimidating personality is, I've got that a lot. That Sana, when you come, in a room, people find you very intimidating. Why? I try to understand myself. Why? Just because I don't talk the way I look, the way I sit, the way I don't know. But yes, I do get that. Oh, she's very arrogant. Oh, she doesn't talk. Oh, she has attitude. But that's the way I am.
Mm.
Know the real me, you'll know how good am I.
No,
But
100%.
they question me that she's selfish. They question me that, oh, she's so mean. She doesn't. Somebody said I don't have empathy. I'm sorry. Selfish, being loving yourself is selfish. Then I'm sorry, I'm selfish. Keeping yourself first is selfish. Then I'm sorry, I'm selfish. And I would like to tell everybody, you need to first before anybody. We're not in a world where people are like, "Nahi, aap go first. No, you go first. Why can't you keep yourself first and then say, let me go first?
Mm.
Our problem ourselves first, and if we prioritize ourselves first, I feel that self-love is no harm, self-love is good. So keep loving yourself first. And then, so you have no idea what I went in that house. 5 days. I was the most hated person. There came up, and I am somebody like that. If I don't like, if I had an argument with you till the time, if I'm not okay, I will not be normal. I'm not somebody to, I'm not somebody that I had an argument with you, and on the other minute I'm fine with you. No, I'm not. So I've learned a lot in this journey. I've faced a lot in this journey. I've had my ups and downs. When I went to the show, I never thought I will build relations. I never thought I'll get good friends. And trust me, I went with that mindset that I don't want to make friends there. My friends are outside and I love my friends. But when I went inside, I had nobody checking up on me except four people. Like they really checked up on me that, are you okay, Sana? Tu theek hai, tu theek hai. And I understood, no, they care for me.
Mm.
So turmoils happen, but then theek hai.
And I think also, like you rightly said, I feel like there's often this holier than thou attitude that I've seen a lot on Big Boss, as someone who's watched the show quite a few times, where they'll be like the people like, oh, मैं तो सही हूँ, like I'm doing good, it doesn't matter. But then they'll kind of like, for example, like someone like you who will own whatever they say, even if the tags are given to you might not necessarily be true, they'll kind of frown upon you. And I feel like that holier than thou, that sort of elitist attitude really kind of was rampant in this season. And it's quite interesting because I felt like it was almost like the TV/film sort of celebs versus the YouTubers versus the content creators in a way. It kind of seemed like that division. You, however, I think it was a very interesting position where you were in a way, despite being someone who's from the entertainment industry, was kind of obviously, you know, in a way, you've been kind of isolated and were forced to kind of make your own way. How did you find yourself dealing with that whole elitist, holier than thou attitude as well? I know we've discussed that at length, but to spotlight this in particular, because I think it's very rampant in our daily lives as well that we encounter.
But Anuj, I've always been like that. I am like that. As I said, I'm a self-made. I've groomed over the years, and I feel learning is always better. And I want to better myself, and I have shown what I am. There was nothing pretentious about me. I have been. If I am like that, I am somebody who sits. I am somebody who gives a lot of expression. I am a little hoity-toity person. I respect. Or I look for chivalry in a man, so in a man, I am somebody who noticed all these little things, like eliteness or not eliteness, I don't know, but I played with dignity. I i respected everybody. Even if I'm fighting, I try to maintain that respect in the fight also. But comparing ki, oh, she comes from TV or film, she has to behave a certain way. No, I don't have that in mind. I had confidence in me that, okay, I'm gonna be good, I'm gonna be uh, like, come may what, I'm not going to take anybody's shit. I had that thing in my head. If you're going to fight with me, you're going to get it back. If you're going to argue with me, you're going to get it back. I didn't think about my image or anything because I know who I am. I know what I bring to the table. If anybody, and you see, people have only fought with me in that show. And you see my fights, I have fought with dignity.
Yeah, oh,
If
100.
they've called me Chipkali, I've been like, okay, I am Chipkali. If
Mm,
they've called me Nagin, okay, I am Nagin. Say something new that I don't know. So I've been that person. I took it with a smile. They and that's what irritated them. That's what made them talk about me. I was the hot topic in the house.
Hmm.
But this is the way I am. If I
Absolutely.
dress well, they've questioned my dressing also. They've if I dress well, I like to get ready. I'm a girl. I love to dress up. I love to do makeup. I love to change my shoes every now and then. I love to do my hair. They've questioned my being, like, legit. They said, oh, if I, like, Ranveer ji had this statement, oh, I don't know that there's a fashion parade going, otherwise I would have got my clothes. Sorry, you are coming on a show. You are very well aware that you are on a show. You need to look good, especially you are an actor.
Hmm. Absolutely. No, I was going to say, I think your fashion game was pretty on point, though, to be fair. I loved it.
Thank you.
But I think, look, Sana, I want to talk a bit more about your career because my earliest memory of you was actually on Pyaar Ko Kya Naam Do. I mean, I
Oh,
was such a huge, I mean, I'm such a huge admirer of that show. I think it was so beautiful. And I think the sort of shows you've done some really credible work. Not just obviously on
yes.
television, but also in the South as well. You know, you've worked with,
How? Yes.
yes, gone.
People don't know me. People don't, people who are from that side of India, I would say, please go and check your facts. What have I done and what have I not done? There were, especially, I didn't know, especially Arman ji said that, in Hindi, I would like to say, कि मैं अपना डूबता हुआ career बचाने आई. Anuj, I felt so sad. He told me that. And he said, again, I didn't know, it was behind my back. He said that इसको इन जैसों को, मतलब मेरे को और विशाल को, ही क्वेश्चन एंड इन जैसों को तो मैं काम पे रखता हूँ. And I would never say that. I've never said that. I've always said Arman ji. I've always mentioned Arman ji and this and that. But then Dupta career I never had. My career was never fading away. Yes, it was little slow, but my career was very good. Very good. It is my choices that I was looking for quality kind of a work. I never wanted to get into quantity. That was my choice, that I wanted to be low key. That's my choice. You're nobody to say कि डूबता career बचाने आई है. So I felt so bad. I never answered him back then. I said, ठीक है, मेरे पीठ पीछे बोला तो मेरे पीठ पीछे ठीक है. मेरे मुंह पे बोलेगा तो मैं बोलूंगी. So now I'm going and I'm saying this to people that he mentioned that कि डूबता करियर बचाने आई. उसका तो मुझे पता नहीं because I never had a डूबता हुआ करियर. But अपना करियर जरूर बनाऊंगी after this show.
जी, बिल्कुल.
So
So,
I will,
yeah.
yeah,
So I was going to say that,
please.
obviously, because you've always been someone, Sana, from what I've gathered from this conversation, is someone who has always been nonchalant and very unapologetic about who you are as a person. And I think that's a really great quality. But I think in an industry like this, where if agar dekha jaye, right, I think anyone who has kind of dared to not adhere to what the status quo is, they've often been kind of क्या कहते हैं, they've been on the margin. They've been marginalized to some extent because they don't fit that convention of what an heroine is or what a sort of an image, a set image that they've created as an industry. Did you ever feel like it was very difficult for you to also like adapt into those conventions that were there as well? And how have you survived all these years?
Is surviving. As I said, I've never been so aggressive in my working life. I've always been like, I've done a show, I've taken a break, I've done a show, I've taken a break, I've done a show, I've taken a break. I've always been that. I've never been so aggressively and so consistent on my work. Trust me, if I've been that, I would have been on a different level. I know that. I know that I've not been consistent. I did Is Pyar Ko Kya Naam Do. Then because I got that Is Pyar Ko Kya Naam Do gave me a huge amount of fame, that show. And till date, the show runs. Till date, the show's on air. Rangla side mein laga. Till date, the show is on air. And I, I finished that show. I went to the South. I released, they launched me. I came back to TV. Again, I went to South. I came back to TV. Again, I came back to South. Pandemic happened. I came back. I did Khatron. Then my health was little severe. I started focusing on my health. And then I wanted to come back with a bang because I was like, no. And then I was like, let me do Bigg Boss. Now I feel I'm ready to do Bigg Boss. And I chose to do Bigg Boss. And I went with that mindset that, Sana, this is a window of opportunity for you. Come out as a winner. Come out. with the light that you have and shine whenever you do. I took it as a target for me and I went for it. Went for it like all in, like all hearts, all in, all brains.
And I think obviously because I think Big Boss is such a brilliant display of what you are as an individual, right? It's a perfect character sort of showcase, so to speak. But obviously, I mean, I've also learned that what we see on the show isn't always what is like. I mean, I've always had that where, for example, I will think of someone on the show, but then when I actually interview them and interact with them on a personal level, it's like your perspective changes a bit because obviously, things are never what they seem. But having done something like this and obviously, emerge as a winner, what sort of aspirations do you have now in your career? Because I feel like number one, you are absolutely stunning, and I really do think that you are absolutely hero in material. So I'm
Thank
definitely
you so
really
much.
eager to see you do more.
Can I tell you something, Anuj? I have never received, I always felt that I have the potential in me. I never received that. I never got that path of light or path of, you know, uh, how to say, I've never received that path. So now Big Boss has given me that. Like my name to fame, people started knowing me was after Khatron Ke Khiladi. That Sana Makbul is a girl, she exists. They gave that show gave me that fame. People started knowing me, and as I said, I own my things and I don't run away from reality. Khatron Ke Khiladi made me who Sana Makbul is. They gave people an idea about me, and people wanted to see me more. And then I was like, no, let me go to the show. People will see the real me, who I am, and I want to showcase me. So I went to that show, and as I said, I wanted to shine, and I shine. So now my aspiration in life is to grow my career to my full potential that I have. And I'm like, there's no looking back. All these years I have craved for this, and today, if I'm getting this, I want to utilize this in a very positive way. Uh, being an actor, you have to be selfish. Being an actor, you have to be versatile. So I come from TV, I emerge from TV. So being an actor, I want to see myself everywhere, whether it's films, whether it's OTT, whether it's TV. I want to shine. I want to make my career grow. I want to be that person. I always thought, that Sana, you have that in you. Don't lose hope. Big Boss taught me that Sana, if you want something, go for it. And yes, as I said, I want to grow in my career and I want to just grow in my career.
As you should, as you should. But I think on a final note, Sana, also I have to say I think Anil Kapoor was hosted Big Boss OTT season 3 for the first time, and I think he did a really splendid job. I have to also mention
He
that
did. He did.
he was so, so good. What would you say is like the biggest growth you've had as a person from where you were to what you are now?
I think what I went with a bang. I came out with a bang. I am strong and fierce, and I am kind and humble. And I think that nothing has changed about me. I have learned few things in the house. So when I come out, I'm going to see how I'm going to implement that in my life. And I'm looking forward for that. But Big Boss has not changed me. I think it has made me better person, and the better thing would be, uh, I mean, of course, it taught me patience, tolerance, and a lot of things. But I think over the years, my life has groomed me. My, my from the day I started the industry to the day it is right now, I have changed a lot as a person, as professionally, personally, I've really, really grown myself. So, Big Boss, no, I don't think so. It has changed me. I was the same person before, I am the same person today.
Amazing, amazing. Well, look, unfortunately, I'm not able to see you, Sana, but thank you so much for joining me on Filme Shilmy. It's been such a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to catch up with you and to sort of get to know you as well. I mean, I've been watching the show on and off, but from what I've seen, you've
Thank
definitely been
you.
quite a force to be reckoned with. And I'm sure your fans, I'm sure your family must be very, very proud of you. For
Very proud, very proud.
Bless you. Well, thank you so much, and thank you for
Thank
giving
you so much.
us UK exclusive interview. It's a really big honor.
Thank you. Thank you. It was lovely.
All right, catch you later. Bye, Sana.
Yes, bye, bye.